Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, canvas open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome one, welcome all to the Lion Villain Report. I am your host. It's your boy, Russell Wayne, right here and right now. And we are broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page right there with 54,000, maybe even 55,000 crossing over today. And thank you to everybody that is liking, sharing, and following our content right here. We are also on YouTube right here. You can go to Lions Villain Squad on YouTube and subscribe right there. And the Detroit Lions News podcast right there with Joe Chapp and the boys, also with the JC Sports Network on YouTube. This show is brought to you by NFL Shop. We are affiliate marketing partners with NFL Shop. You can get one of those snazzy looking Jahmyr Gibbs jerseys right there with the link that I'm going to throw into the comments right there. And you can save yourself 30% from our affiliate marketing partners at NFL Shop. And our stars have a purpose because my wife has a page and she is an advocate for autism awareness. So if you comment using stars, 100% of that is going to support her and her page, where she shares resources for parents that have children that have special needs, as well as following the journey of my son, 5-year-old. And Riker is awesome. He is my lifeblood right there. And we're sharing his journey. He's one of, it was 16 in the world with a rare genetic, I guess, a disorder. And the University of Michigan is following the life of my son. And it does cause autism. He has autism, and he is just the most awesome little kid in the entire world. And my wife is sharing the journey on there, as well as sharing resources for children that have special needs on that. Faith, family, and then football. It's in that order. It's important that it's in that order, that we use football to create memories. We use football to spend time with our family, but we don't let football use us. As we come in right here, and I'm going to say hello to everybody. Yes. Welcome one, welcome all. Let's say hello to Henry Gray in the comments right here. Good morning to the Lions family. Good morning, Villains. Good morning, Russ. The black and blue division is back. One pride, let's go. Good morning to all from Dwayne. What's going on, Dwayne? I love reading your comment right here. Let's go, Detroit Lions. One pride, King of the North Division, championship title, all credit, never back down, 3-1. Thank you, Dwayne. Good morning, Davey. One pride, it takes more. Jeremy B is in the comments. Kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. Good morning to you. And that was all before the YouTube channel thing came in. Right there is our YouTube at Lions Villain Squad. And then you can support the stars. All of the stars are going to go to support my wife's page. And Dwayne, we need to be ready to play smart and have fun. We need to keep the gas pedal and the throttle throttle and never let up on offense and defense. Yes, right there. We're talking about this game that we got coming up. And there we go. The must-win game for the Lions right here. Yes, they need to play a complete game. When I'm looking at this, I need to see a complete game out of the Lions. You know, they had some good defensive performances, but then the offense was struggling during that game. We've had impeccable special teams performances where the offense struggled in that game. And then we had the offense stand out, but the defense let up in that game. So what do we have? What do we got to do here? Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lions and Tigers fans. One pride. And by the way, Taylor Decker has checked in. He is eligible. He's going to be playing the game. And Dan Skipper. It's a revenge game. I know a lot of us had these marked. They had these marked on the calendar right here. Good morning to Scotty Reno. Henry Gray's like, I understand that. Yes. It is played in the Eastern time zone. So it is a record. What did I miss here? Oh, okay. Okay. I missed the last one in there. Dak Prescott set an NFL record on Monday Night Football. First quarterback to throw a touchdown on 2 days in the same game. It's still a record. That'll stay there. That'll probably never be broken. That'll never be broken. How are you going to break that? That's like an anomaly just to be put into the category. That's crazy. Good morning from Scotty Reno. Henry Gray. Gosh, got it. John, good morning to the villain squad. Matthew, the rednecker. We have it under control. What is crazy? All 3 runs for Dallas have been on the road, and they have been straight booty cheeks at home. Hey, I think that we're in this game. This Dallas game is going to be something else. But I think that the Lions need to take care of business when, you got guys out. I don't know if Micah Parsons is going to play in this game. And the Lions, it wouldn't matter if he did, because Penei Sewell is Micah Parsons' daddy. And every time that Micah Parsons plays, Micah Parsons doesn't impact the game. So it's not that I'm not worried, but I wanted to get into the grades from PFF. But first of all, I wanted to get into, this Detroit Tigers. What the hell is going on right now? The football gods, the sport gods, the people that make the everything that's happening right now. We go to a bye week. The Lions go to a bye week, and during that bye week, the Lions got to watch the Detroit Tigers make it into the playoffs, where the Tigers had to be the best team in baseball over the last 2 months in order to make this even possible. They squeaked into the playoffs, and now they're the hottest team in baseball. They sweep the Astros, go down to Houston, take care of business, and now we're in this series against the Cleveland Guardians. And I watched this game last night, and there was just some beautiful pitching going on. I mean, you look at that. Scooble goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts. I mean, they just weren't getting anything done. And then you had this feeling like, man, I mean, are they gonna waste this pitching outing? Like, what a great pitching outing. And it's 0-0. Mike and I, before the show last night, we're on here and we're doing our pre-production, and we're watching the end of this game together. And then Carpenter hits a 3-run knock while we're getting ready for the show. How exciting was that? I was like, I can't even believe I'm seeing this right now. There was nothing going on. And then Carpenter goes deep. Guy doesn't even start in a lineup. And not only did he go deep, but he went deep off of a guy that's considered one of the best pitchers in baseball at the end in closing. One of the best closers. They're putting him in the Rivera category. And you're going to put 2 guys on base against a guy that's like, they thought it was a wrap. They thought it was a wrap. And now the Detroit Tigers are 1-1 in this series. They're going to play a game. Now they get to go back to Detroit and play a couple games. And if this series goes to 5, then they're going to be able to bring Scooble back up. I believe so. I believe that he's going to be able to pitch once they've pitched the 2 other games. So all the Tigers have to do is win one out of these two, and then they can get Scooble back out on the mound, or they can just win these two games in Detroit and go to the American League Championship. Who would have thought that? Nobody thought that from the Tigers believers. There's not a fan out there that can be like, yeah, I called it. All these guys. I mean, the Tigers organization didn't even call it. They tanked the season. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. Is the Tigers decided to tank the season and bring up all the farm system guys. All these young players. And they came up and now they're one of the best teams in baseball. So kudos. I know this is the Lions show. I'm sorry. But the football gods blessed us with a good Tigers team during the bye week. I mean, there wasn't Lions stuff to talk about. We beat Seattle. Got that monkey off our back. Now we got another monkey that we got to get off our back here. And the storyline would be, Frank the Tank was practicing. Brian Branch was practicing. Not so much for Ifatu Malafanu or Derek Barnes. As you know, Ifatu was put on the IR last week, so they're going to be without him, which stinks, but it's been next man up. I mean, nobody out there can tell me that the Lions didn't miss Brian Branch in the back of that secondary. I think that this Lions defense is getting better in the back end, but a lot of that had to do with Brian Branch. So let me dive back in here. I think that we're going to get what is crazy is all three runs. Wait a minute. This is okay. I thought we were talking. That was the last one I read. No Lawrence and Parsons is doubtful. You got to take advantage of that. And really, it wouldn't matter if they were there. Honestly, I don't want to turn this into something right here. It's like the offensive line is our strength. So that means when the best defensive linemen are on the other side, I still expect our guys to win those battles. So you can have no Lawrence, you can have Parsons, whatever. You bring whoever you want to the party. But that should create an advantage. That should be a plus advantage. And if there is no Lawrence for sure, maybe they consider shutting Ragnow down for a second straight week to let him continue to heal. Because he's going to play somewhat injured. You don't just tear your pec and just, okay, I'm just going to tough my way through it. I mean, that's what he wants to be able to do. But Parsons in October is different than Parsons in December. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Jared Goff. What a great game. Kerry Carpenter acting revenge on a blown no catch. Watched it live. He literally hit a home run on the best closers in baseball. That's the crazy thing. Like, Carpenter isn't even like a regular dude. From what I hear, I don't know a ton about baseball this year. Like, kneecap biting. Me and Jeremy are so deep into the Detroit Lions that sometimes even the closest things that are to us, I watch and see who wins and loses, but I'm not even sure, after July, they brought all these new guys up. It's like, I don't even know who half the damn roster is for the Tigers. breaking news from Smoking Jeremy B. He says that Robert Saleh is fired as the Jets head coach. Robert Saleh. He's gone. He gone. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. That defense is way too good. And you don't need Aaron Rodgers to throw all those passes. He shouldn't be the savior of that team. I'll go off cue a little bit. Like, when I look at that team, that New York Jets team, if they're going to be successful, they need to treat Aaron Rodgers a lot like they treated Peyton Manning when he went to Denver. You can't put it all on him. He's not Aaron Rodgers of old. He's not going to throw for 5,000 yards. He's not going to be a wizard in the pocket. He's a pocket quarterback. You need to treat him as such. You need to control the ground game. With that defense that you have that isn't going to let it, you need to control the game with the ground game. You got Breece Hall. Get it done. Get it done over there. I hope that the new head coach understands that. You got a team that can win ugly. That's one of those things that I was saying about the Vikings. I was proud of the Vikings. Because in order to win in this league, you need to win ugly games. And the Jets have a defense that makes you play ugly. You have to play ugly versus the Jets. Just can't give up on the Tigers. You can't do it. You can't do it. It is confirmed by ESPN that Robert Saleh has been fired. Beautiful. Love it. Get the next man up. They gave the Tigers in August about a 0.02% chance to make the playoffs. It's crazy. It's crazy that they even made it, even playing well. I mean, they were like, okay, they could even go on a streak, and what's going to happen? They ain't going to make the playoffs. A 0.02. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah. Yeah. Nobody told the young guys that they can't win. What? Brian Branch, Ragnow, and Mahogany all practicing. I love it. I love it. I didn't think that. I mean, I knew that the Brian Branch thing. Everybody thought it was a concussion. It wasn't even a concussion that kept him out last week. It was he was going through some kind of stomach bug, and he didn't play last week for Brian Branch. So I expect to get some Brian Branch in there. I mean, the defense, is definitely missing something back there when he's not in there. For sure. For sure. Good morning. Good morning, Mark. The Tigers have that next man up attitude too. Yeah. Yeah. They kind of both like each other. They got that next man up attitude. And it's a partial one tear. I'm going back and forth on the comments. We're talking a little bit of Tigers. We're talking a little bit of the injury report. We're talking about this Dallas game that's only a few days away. It's a partial tear, grade 1, 2 to 4 weeks recovery time. So he's got the 3 weeks in because once he had it. So this is his 3rd week of rest time in there. So you could put him in there. You could put him in there. But with those guys not having, their best guys, maybe you give them another week. That's it. C'est la vie. Go Tigers. Scoople was on fire yesterday. They said that Rags looked great against Reeder and McNeil in practice. He might be fine. It was a perfect time for the bye week. Yeah, if he's good to go, let's go. Ragnow is the best center in the league. Branch has been out. see what was missing in the tackling on the back end. It just didn't. He just doesn't miss tackles on the back end, and that's the guy's honest truth right there. That is the truth. But as I promised in here, and this is PFF Tuesday, and what I wanted to be able to do was go over the highest grades in the NFC North. And I don't know, I haven't done this yet, but I got it. I got it categorized here up here by 20% of 225. I don't do that, and I minimize it by snaps, and then people with like 1 or 2 snaps are going to get in there. And calm down, Green Bay fans. This is really this PFF grading really favors some Green Bay here. Look at that. Malik Willis, the highest graded offensive passer, and then Jordan Love coming in at number 3. Oh, look at it. Look at that. Green Bay, beat your chest. Look at that. You won the PFF quarterback award. Look at that. But let's look even deeper. Jeremy, you're going to love this. And when we sort it by run, you got Jordan Love up on top, but look who comes in at number 2. Vanilla Vic coming in as the second best runner via PFF. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's move it. Let's talk about some receivers. Yes, got some good receivers in the NFC North. Minimum snaps. I got that put in there. So Justin Jefferson, no doubt. No doubt. Aaron Jones. Look at Aaron Jones. This is the thing I was telling you, Green Bay people, about when you guys got Josh Jacobs. Is Aaron Jones is like a wide receiver. Jaden Reed, he's been spectacular this year. Not a big surprise. Cole Kmet has been a good outlet for Caleb Williams. No surprise that Amon-Ra St. Brown would be right there in receiving. DeAndre Swift's always been a good receiver. I've never really had any big problems with DeAndre Swift. I think he's a good running back when healthy. You know, he's got that Marcus Davenport thing going on, but he hasn't really been injured all that much in the last couple of years, so maybe his injury bugs are behind him. But as a receiver, he's really good out of the backfield. Oh, look at Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta coming in. Look at that. With looks like 3 of the top 10 pass catchers are Detroit Lions. Oh, you gotta like that. Good morning, Aiden. As we're going in through here, this is as of week 4, Goff has more TD receptions than Debo, Ayuk, Kelsey, Mark Andrews, and Sam Laporta. Yes, he does. Let's get in here and look at some of that. Right here. We got to put a shout out to Elise Memes as we go through this. Let's share this tab instead as we put a shout out to her from the page. She has the top performing meme that was thrown out onto the Facebook page with over 15,000 engagements, 3,900 shares. With the receiving touchdowns this season, Taylor Swift, yeah, you might be checking out some Jared Goff. All right. Sorry about that. That was an outburst. Right there. As we're going down the line right there, DJ Moore, Tucker Kraft, Jahmyr Gibbs even finding his way on that list in the top 15. And Dobbs, yeah, there you go. And then these guys aren't doing so much before that. But not huge surprises right there. But nailing a point that I've been telling you at home, because I'm looking at this. Hey, where's Josh Jacobs on here? Where's Josh Jacobs? I I don't see Josh Jacobs on there. Elise is in the house. She says good morning to the villains right here. And right, you see that QR code. You can go use that QR code. You take your camera phone out and go right to your camera. You go on that QR code, will pop up. That'll take you right to the Queen of Memes. That'll take you right to her Facebook page. You can follow her Facebook page. And right now, she was our supervillain of the month with that post. What a great post that was when you're looking at that. All right. But thank you for coming in, Elise. I appreciate you. Kneecap said only wide receiver through 4 weeks that had 350 plus yards receptions. Now, I was one of the people that came on here was talking about Jameson Williams, where I said I think he's going to have 1,000 yards on less than 75 catches. And that just goes by the way that they're going to use him. I mean, you can see it. You can see how they're going to be using Jameson Williams. He's not going to go out there and get 13 targets in a game. And if they do, I think that's a mistake by Ben Johnson, because you have all these mouths to feed, and you can really, I mean, defenses can't stop what the Lions bring to the table. None of them can. None of them can if they're firing on the cylinders that they need to, because they have the perfect pieces for each one of the spots. Tim Patrick is such an underrated signing because he fits that X receiver mold. It isn't Tim Patrick. It's Tim Patrick being a good player and being the perfect guy with size and speed that he can fill that role. You know, that Josh Reynolds role. It's like he's a bigger version of Josh Reynolds that can block really well. So let's go in here now. We did receiving. Let's go into the rushing. And look at Aaron Jones. Aaron. The best runners right there. Josh Jacobs at running. Yes, 82.8 with Emmanuel Wilson. So they got two pretty good runners right there. And then there's David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs right in there when you categorize it by offense. David Montgomery is a beast. He is a beast. Josh Jacobs has fumbled the ball a couple times. Looks like right there. I don't even know if he has a fumble. Oh, he's got two fumbles. Aaron Jones has got a fumble. That's a big deal right there. Who's the best run blockers right there? Look at Roschon Johnson. Nah, not too many run blocking snaps. When they're all 60s like that, I think that's like they had to do it like one time. So no big surprise right here. Aaron Jones is a beast. Aaron Jones is the beast. There's some good running backs in the NFC North. Very good running backs. Actually, when I'm looking at that, I'm like, I'm impressed. I would say Emmanuel Wilson, you surprise me. You surprise me with how good you are, Emmanuel Wilson. All right, so let's go in here and what did I do? Rushing? let's go into defense. Or you want to go on pass blocking? Blocking. We'll get into the blocking. Pass blocking. Taylor Decker, Elgin Jenkins on the top. Rasheed Walker. Even bringing in some tight ends right there. Brian O'Neill, Penei Sewell, Darisaw, Oliver Braxton Jones. Kevin Zeitler down at 17. But, 68.2. These are decent down to about 65, about right here is where you want to go. Right there on Brock Wright. I mean, 61, that's where you're starting to get into we're not good. Anything below that. And those are all the linemen in the NFC North. Frank Ragnow has not been a good pass blocker this year. Let's get into the run blocking. Oh, look at that. In the NFC North, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler, Taylor Decker, all of them sitting right there in the top 10. Christian Darisaw is a stud. Brian O'Neill is a stud. Zach Tom, run blocking. Yeah, you can tell why these teams are running well. Look at this. Minnesota's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Detroit 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're talking like the top 10 offensive linemen at run blocking in the NFC North. I have this categorized by. And it's like those are the two teams that are running. Those two teams, the Minnesota Vikings, it's like those are two of the best offensive lines in the NFL, for sure. When you look at Minnesota's probably better at pass blocking, and the Lions are better at run blocking. But it's damn close either way you look at it. On defense, and this is just NFC North, guys. I'm just kind of glancing through here, looking at some of these PFF stats. Just on straight defense, that's an everything. Let's take some of these guys out. Let's just do defense. Let's just do edges, defenders, and linebackers. Do front 7 here. And Aiden Hutchinson's the best player in the NFC North. It's not even close. And you can see it. You can look at it. I mean, and that's actually amazing when you think about it. That's crazy. That's crazy good right there. Aiden Hutchinson at a 93 on the defense, and that's up in the front 7. What a defender. But look at Detroit up front right there on defense. Just in the up front, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader. Damn, Derek Barnes was up there too for the line, but they got 3 of their defensive linemen that have the highest grades in the NFC North. Now, right here, this Minnesota team on defense, this Chicago team on defense, there's Derek Taylor, Andrew Billings, Gervin Dexter, Look at that. They got 3 right in a row. They got nice guys right there. Look at those 3 Chicago guys. DeMarcus Walker, Gervin Dexter, and Andrew Billings. That's just a solid up front with Darren Taylor or Daryl Taylor. Nice stuff. And then that Jack Campbell coming in here. We take these down to about 65 as we look at these. Jack Campbell on that list. Alex Anzalone on that list. All these with good grades, and it really kind of cuts off right there at Levi Onwuzurike to me. But you could probably stick Ivan Pace, Tremaine Edmonds. Those are okay in there. And then you start getting into the lower grades. Really, when you get into the 50s is when you're starting to get below average right there. But you start getting into that, like TJ Edwards, you don't make fun of that score at 62. It's not like, oh, you're awful. Because 62, because a lot of times these grades are put in, maybe the play didn't even get ran towards that player. And sometimes you get these middle scores on PFF and it doesn't tell the whole story. Like, really, PFF can tell you really, really good performance, really, really bad performance. And then there's a whole bunch of people that are kind of in the middle, just kind of doing their jobs. Like Harrison Phillips, right? At 65.5, he doesn't have glaringly low. He's bad he's a bad tackler. He probably missed a couple tackles in his game. So let's look at these run defenders. Ivan Pace Jr. coming in at number 1. What a great undrafted free agent that Minnesota got right there. And the run defenders right in there. Derek Barnes making it up in there. Aiden Hutchinson not coming so high up on the run defender down there. But you got Jack Campbell. You got DJ Reader. You got Malcolm Rodriguez. You got Derek Barnes. All of these. See, when you're looking at some of these things, they just all play together. There's Aleem McNeil, 65. They all play together. Josh Paschal starting to move his score up. He had his best game as a pro. Josh Paschal just did. I'm pretty sure. I'd like to look at that. So I'm looking at Josh Paschal. And that last game, 67.7. Good tackler in that game, and he had some hurries. He had a couple hurries. Definitely his best game. And in 2022, 2023, he just didn't have a lot of snaps in 2022. More in relief. He definitely had more snaps last year, but as you can see, he improves every year. I know it's only by point, whatever, but he just had his best game where he had the most snaps. So I'm excited to see what Josh Paschal can do and continue to do, because I don't think that the Lions are going to go out and, trade for one of these stud passers. Let's see what we got on pass rushing. Well, pass rushing, it's Aiden Hutchinson. He's the best pass rusher in the NFC North. And when you look at it, you got a Green Bay backer, there's a Chicago Bear, there's Ivan Pace is their best pass rusher. But look at the drop down. Edrin Cooper from Green Bay is their best pass rusher. He's only had 87 snaps. But Chicago, 82.4 for Andrew Billings, and he's an interior defender. So that's pretty good. Then you got linebackers. These are blitz packages right there. And look at Aleem McNeil. Check it out, Aleem McNeil making the pass rushing list. Look at Levi Onwuzurike having his best year as a Lion. Most people left him out there for dead. Look at that, 69.8. Gotta like that. DJ Reader showing up for the Lions right there in comparison. That is great to see. And I'm not going to go any lower than that because, I don't want to try to tout what's not good right there. But DJ Reader, Levi Onwuzurike, Aleem McNeil, and Aiden Hutchinson. Those are all our defensive linemen. They're showing out in there. They're showing out, and that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Let's try to do some coverage scheme, slot coverage. Let's do the coverage. Let's go ahead and do the coverage. Let's take our lumps here, Lion fans. Let's get these DBs out. We'll keep the put them all in there. Let's put them all in there. Let's put them all in there. Look at the best coverage guys that they got. Oh, look at Kirby Joseph. All right. So Xavier McKinney's the best coverage safety. And you thought that it was going to be Brisker, but it wasn't Brisker. It's Kevin Byard. That's a free agent acquisition from Chicago. Is their best safety in coverage. That's pretty badass. Kirby Joseph showing up on that list. And then you got Evan Williams only playing 72 snaps. That's very limited right there. Maybe I should have changed that. Jair Alexander in coverage. No surprise here. Blake Cashman, linebacker. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker. Good linebacker coverage. Well, really, when you look at Chicago with Jalen Johnson, Byard, Tremaine Edmonds. So good coverage. Good coverage grades from the Chicago Bears. It's not a surprise. They play really good defense. And, they're surprising. Amik Robertson shows up on this. Alex Anzalone showing up on this. Derek Barnes was showing up on this. Even Jack Campbell. Is Jack Campbell playing better? Is Jack Campbell starting to come into his own? Because he's already a run defense demon. Look at that, Brian Branch. Looking at that. Look at that. All right, that was in coverage. Let's go ahead and do the run defense. Let's look at that. The run defense, and we'll take out, since we already looked at edge, Stephon Gilmore, man. How many Lions wanted to have Stephon Gilmore? And he was just sitting out there in free agency. And look at Minnesota with the top 3 guys in run defense. So don't say that it's easy to run on the Minnesota Vikings. Because if you're looking at this, these guys are pretty good. These guys are pretty good against the run. Maybe not on the defensive interior. Let's look at see how many they have on the defensive interior. So Kirby Joseph, very good against the run this year. Gotta like that. I am very impressed with So, Stephon Gilmore and Josh Metellus. Those are elite grades. Those are elite run stopping grades. That is elite. When you're over 90, this is where PFF is worth it, and they don't tell lies. They don't tell lies on the extreme. They don't tell lies on the extreme. When you're graded out well, that means that these two guys have been plus defenders. Kirby Joseph with the 78.5, that's good. That's really good. That means that he's doing everything that he needs to do. And he's doing it at a high level. That's a plus grade. Anything above 70, you're helping your team. From 60 to 70, you're not sticking out like a sore thumb. That's what I see from the 60s to 70s. These guys right here, these guys, I wouldn't even call them average. I just say they don't stick out like a sore thumb. If Jack Campbell's asked to make a run stop, he's going to make the run stop. But he hasn't, had 3 tackles for loss and, affected the game. That's what the 90s scores mean. That means that there's a couple of plays where they affected the game. So very, very impressive right there. Lions got Carlton Davis in there, Malcolm Rodriguez in there, Brian Branch is in there, Derek Barnes is in there. So Lions have all their guys in there. And when you got a whole bunch of guys in the 70s, that usually means you got a bunch of players that are playing together. So let's see. We got pass rush. Let's do some slot coverage. What do we got in slot coverage right here? Kirby Joseph is the best at being a slot defender. Okay, cool. Amik Robertson. We got some good slot defenders for the Lions. Run stopping percentage. Must have some new stuff in here. Ivan Pace, Brian Branch. Look at Brian Branch and Jack Campbell in there. I like it. Ivan Pace stops you. That's what they're saying. Ivan Pace will stop you. But man, I like it that you guys hop on here. You guys are awesome. The 24 people that are here. This is nerdy Tuesdays, PFF style. Kind of going in there, seeing what the stories that the PFF grades are going to tell us. And it tells us what we thought. It justifies a whole bunch of different things that are being said. It shows you why the Minnesota Vikings are 5-0. You're looking at it, and a lot of the storylines that you thought were there aren't really there. Oh, yeah, you're going to be able to run all over Minnesota. What are they going to do? Well, it's not the run game. Those guys have been stuffing the run for the most part. I think that you're going to have to find a way to attack their cornerbacks. You're going to have to figure out how to attack where they don't have the best players. Because right now they're able to get a pass rush. Their linebackers can cover. So if they do have the perceived weakness is at cornerback, you got to get to them. You got to be able to cover them. Let's see what we got in the comments. Right there. Top 10 across the board. NFC North is stacked. Derrick Henry's been a beast this year. I'm trying to see. Okay, there we go. give love to Cashman and Van Ginkel too, for sure. For sure. Van Ginkel, it's like there's something about the long hair guys. You know, you got Alex Anzalone, right? Blonde Amalu. Van Ginkel, you got that long flowing hair. Gets those interceptions. And you know, Cashman and Van Ginkel, it's like it's not like I'm not trying to give credit there, Jeremy. I didn't I don't mean to skip over those guys, but what I'm trying to do with the PFF is highlight some guys that you might not have thought about. You know, some of those guys that played really well that you didn't know. You're like, okay, I didn't know he was playing good. Like, I don't know if a lot of a lot of green, or God, I can't even talk today. I didn't know if a lot of Chicago Bear fans knew that Bayard was their best safety and not Brisker. You know, according to PFF, that's the way it is. Right. I mean, I know that these aren't the end all be all, but it does. I mean, there's a couple surprises that are on there, right? I mean, when you look at the Lions in their cornerbacks. So let's say, I mean, really, this is more of a Lions show. So when we're just really looking at this stuff just in Lion homeristic form, you know, we haven't been as bad in those spots as we thought. Check Campbell's pass defense rating for me, please. Doesn't seem like he's been doing very well. Okay, let's check out. Let's check that out. Jack Campbell in coverage. Oh, hold on, my friend. I got to get this out of the way. Okay. Jack Campbell in coverage has been 66.4. And now if we look at it even deeper. Okay. So you are correct. So if you look, Mark, his coverage was not good against LA. It was borderline average in Tampa Bay. I would say that is a good day. That's a good day, but not a great day. But he didn't stick out like a sore thumb in coverage in Arizona, and he was actually a plus player in coverage in week 4. So he had his best game in coverage ever. And I've been tracking Jack Campbell. That is 100% his best game in coverage, period. And when you look at him through the run defense, he's usually stellar at the run defense. Like if you look at his run defense in that first game that he didn't play well in coverage, his run defense was 80. Now, in the second game, he was just kind of average, borderline below average in both. Third game, really, I would say that the third game was his most complete game. Got a high tackling grade, got a high run defense. He probably missed one play in coverage, or else that probably would have been better right there. But this is pretty good right here. He wasn't a very good tackler in Seattle. That was his lowest tackling grade. So Jack Campbell seems to me like a guy that needs to put it together. Like, give me a full game, Jack Campbell. Let me see a full game from you to where all of these things can look good. Like I said, I think that this was the closest that he got to a complete game, because I don't really care about pass rush. Pass rush isn't like for what Jack Campbell's doing. That's not a. We need him to have good tackling. We need you to be good against the run, and to be a complete linebacker in the NFL. This score needs to be good here in coverage too. So he had his best game in coverage in the last game. And when I'm following it week to week, and this is what I'm coming up with, it's there's a couple of guys that I'm interested in seeing what they can do over the next couple weeks. Because I know that there's a lot of clamoring out there for let's go get Max Crosby. Let's go get Trey Hendrickson. Let's go spend money and draft capital. We have to fix this. And I don't think there's anything that needs to be fixed. I don't. I mean, you got players that are young and good that are getting better, right? Here's our defenders. I'm looking at I'm just being real with you right here. I know we don't have the traditional pass rusher opposite of Hutchinson right now. I get that. But these guys are playing good. The pass rush. Here's our guys, our top pass rushers. I mean, 69.8, 67.4. Even Mekhi Wingo is starting to move it up. We got good defenders. I mean, you got 1, 2. I can't really count him right there. I'll throw Jack Campbell into there because he's going to be going into that slot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our defenders are plus defenders. Just from the way that they've played through the first year, through the first thing. And when you're looking at Josh Paschal, he had his best game. He had a 69. What did he have in that last game? 67.7 in that last game, and he was good at tackling. Now, is that anything to call home about? He's going to get opportunities. Look, here's the most important thing about watching Josh Paschal. Watch this. See that? 53 snaps. You see the previous games? This is because Marcus Davenport and other people are getting opportunities. 22, 13. Let's even go back into that 2023. Look at these. You know, he had 43 snaps in a game. Oh, he had 60 snaps in the Minnesota game at the right end. So this is the second most snaps that he's had in his entire career at 53. And he had his best game. There's something about year three for Brad Holmes guys. But I'm sorry, Mark, I kind of went into a completely different thing there, Jack Campbell's. I agree, Russell. I see maybe a free agent or a practice squad poach. Paschal is maturing nicely. A ton of us had Levi as the odd man out. I don't think we really did this year. Maybe last year, Jeremy. But like this year, he was such a plus player, and everybody was talking good about him during the preseason. Let's see what else we got here. Hit that like button. Jeremy says, gotta run, great show. The 4 quarterbacks in the division are the best currently. Aiden says, I wish that Jack trade to the Chiefs. Josh Metellus up there too. Yes. Our linebackers are doing great against the pass. At the pass rush. Now let's get them dropping back to cover. Someone is shaky. I mean, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that in numbers. I haven't really seen that all that much in the first 4 games. I think that we have like the elephant memory, right? And we remember it being really, really bad. And I mean, I remember the first 2 weeks of this season, people talking about how bad our coverage was and how, and it's like we gave 20 points up. We gave 20 points up, you know, and last year we would have killed the half the defense that would only give up 20 points. I mean, I'm just being honest with that. And I'm not saying that our cornerbacks or our linebackers are like the greatest in coverage. We even saw that with the scores from PFF. They're not the greatest, but when you're in between 60s and in the 70s, that's showing that you're being, most of the time, you're being a good player. You know, maybe consistency. Mark, I'll agree on that. Mark says, was Saleh the scapegoat in New York? Because their defense hasn't been terrible, and I think that Rodgers calls his own play. So wouldn't that put Rodgers at more to blame than Saleh? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's a scapegoat. Because I don't believe that Rodgers was calling all of his own plays. I believe that they put unnecessary pressure on their offense when they need to be running the ball more with Breece Hall. I don't think that Rodgers is not calling run plays when he could call run plays, especially when he feels the way that he does. You know, they were getting after him, they were hitting him, and they have one of the best running backs in the NFL. And I don't know why they don't use him more. So Saleh has had a great defense the entire time that he's been there. And when you have a defense like that, gosh, when you try to beat the Jets, you have to win ugly. You have to be able to win a game where your offense may only score 1 touchdown. You know? So I don't know. I don't think that's on Rodgers as much. Rodgers is a 40-year-old quarterback. They need to treat him more like Peyton Manning did when they went to Denver. Lean on the run game, play good defense, and Rodgers can make a play when he needs to. But you can't put the whole offense on him. That would be. I hope that the new coach does that for them. The 4 QBs in our division are probably the best currently in the NFL. That's bold. We'll see how good the Vikings hold up when they get into the division schedule. So, hey, they got us next. What's Cody Rhodes' PFF? LOL. The American Nightmare. So, what do you want to talk about? Oh, that's what I thought. Campbell is good at the run, but still needs to work on the pass coverage. But, Mark, remember, recency. Look, Jack Campbell is coming off of his best game in coverage. If Jack Campbell puts it together, and we were just looking at that. I mean, I know that Aiden is a huge Jack Campbell fan, and I know that he's not going to mind if I go in and put some more of this Jack Campbell up there. Because when I look at these great, it's so intriguing to me. It just shows me that it's like he works on something. Like Jack Campbell is a workhorse. Like he works on it they say it's almost a fault sometimes, where he's so detailed and he's got to get everything perfect. And sometimes that, if you overthink, you're gonna not make plays. And when I look at these scores, it tells me that. He was really, really good at run defense in the very first game, right? But overall, his defense was 57.8, probably because he failed in coverage with the 47. So he was a demon against the run. He made sure that Kyron Williams was dog water in that game. But that let up other part of his game. Now, the next game, he was trying to make sure that he was the guy, and he was a little bit below average all the way around. But he was a great tackler. Great tackling. So you're looking at a guy that's all trying to be in the right place at the right time, probably failed at that in a couple times, but he made sure he got his guy down. He made sure that he was tackling, because he wasn't tackling well in the previous game. Trying to put it together. Third game, probably that was a good defensive overall game. Was the best game of the season to date. Was really good in the run defense. Was really good in the pass or really good tackler. And was average in coverage. Was okay. He was okay. You probably didn't complain about him in that game. That was probably, to me, that was a nice all-around game. And then in the next game in Seattle, just a little bit better. But look what happens when the coverage is really, really good, he actually wasn't as good of a run defender. So that tells me that in this next game, he just needs to keep getting better. If he keeps going at that trajectory, he's going to be playing at a very, very high level by week 7, week 8. Just keep giving this guy snaps. 44 to 35 to 59 to 61. Keep giving this guy snaps. It's not too much for him. It's not too much for him. Aaron is the LeBron of the NFL. The Lions signed 2 linebackers. I expected them to do that for their practice squad. Jets play better without Rodgers. What up, Nick? Woo, woo, woo. Cam, Jill. Muhammad, release safety, Eric Hall, and Matthew McCrane. Yeah. That's all right. How many more sleeps until Dallas lets go? We're ready. The bad guy. The bad guy's coming in. Say hello to the bad guy. Campbell is showing improvement so far this season. He's getting there. We're getting there. But this is how I love to use PFF. Mark, this was something, it was like we needed it to tell a story. You really want to look at your players and what they're really doing. Right? I hope that you guys don't mind I spent a little bit of extra time on these things. Because the other guy you're looking at here, Levi Onwuzurike. And this is a guy that just had the craziest path to get here. And, these aren't scores to call home about, but they're still, that's what you need. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. You're not sticking out. You know, you're not in the 50s, 40s, sticking out like a sore thumb. Like you were not a good tackler in the Tampa Bay game, Levi. Your run defense wasn't great in that first game, Levi, but your pass rush was good. And this is what we really want to see from Levi. We need him to be a plus player in the middle. That's what his best attribute is. And then the other guy being Josh Pascal. It's like, that's what I want to see. I want to see these guys get better and better. And because this team believes in progression, drafting, and development. Draft and develop. Draft and develop. And here's these players. These players are year 3, year 4. Now, in honesty, Levi probably lost 2 of those 4 years that he's played to injury and recovering from that back injury. Last year was can I play on this back injury, and he made it through the entire season. Average, nothing to call home by, but he came into camp ready to be a plus player. And so far, Levi Onwuzurike has been a plus player, providing a sack and a half from the interior of the defense. That's what we needed. Somebody not named Aiden Hutchinson coming in, making an impact. Aleem McNeil making an impact. DJ Reader making an impact. Mekhi Wingo learning in the field, learning in the trenches. Levi is a good second string defensive tackle. That's okay. Don't need him to be great, just a good rotational, but he could be great. That's the other thing. You're going to bring back Broderick Martin here in the next couple weeks. That's going to add another piece in there. And the cool thing about all these guys, bad guy, is that they all are different. They provide different pass rushing skills. Because like Mekhi Wingo is a pass rusher. That's why they brought him in here. He has pass rushing skills from the interior line, and he's doing it at a decent level here in the pros too. Not elite yet, but in the limited snaps that he's had, been a decent tackler. So, but we want to be able to tell the story with this. But this is the Lion Villain Report. You can join me every day at 10 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Brought to you by NFL Shop. We are affiliate marketing partners. You can use the code or the link that's in the comments right now to go and save 30%. At NFL Shop, our affiliate marketing partners. We're broadcasting live in our Facebook page. We are approaching 55,000 villains on that page. So thank you to everybody that likes, shares, and follows the page. We're also on YouTube at Lions Villain Squad. Subscribe to the YouTube page and say, hey, I took care of that thing for you. Thank you to everybody using the stars comments right here, that our star purpose for the Villain Squad is going to help my wife share resources for parents that have children with special needs. She's an advocate for autism awareness, and we are sharing our journey with our son, Riker, with the world, because he's got a very unique genetic disorder that we're tracking and we're going to figure. But the University of Michigan is giving us instructions and we're following it, and we're going to share that journey with the world, as well as sharing resources for parents, children with special needs, because that's what you run into. You run into like-minded people when you're trying to find answers for your children, is you stumble upon other things that could be helpful for somebody else. And that's what she's trying to do with that, for real. It's faith, family, and football. That's where it's all centered around. I love football, but I love my family more. I love my God more. God bless you guys. Anybody that can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, it's faith, family, and then football. We use football to spend time with our family. We use football to create memories. We don't let football use us. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again for football talk. That's Lion Villain Report tomorrow, 10 a.m. Peace out. God bless.
Hey, yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet.
Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose, move on the move, but it's simple.
Never give up and we winning it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity.